Hello, hi everyone, welcome to Cybrosys. In today's video, we're going to discuss about how to set up Odoo 19 development environment using PyCharm in Ubuntu. Odoo 19 is the latest version of the software, and this version is developed with Python 3.10 plus for the backend, and it also uses PostgreSQL as its database system. It relies on OWL framework for front-end interface. Now, to download and install the PyCharm IDE, we'll be installing the PyCharm Community Edition, and it is important to ensure that your machine meets certain basic requirements to run the PyCharm smoothly. The requirement for installing the PyCharm on your computer are 4 GB of RAM free minimum, and the recommended is 8 GB of total system RAM, and you can use any modern CPU, and the recommended CPU is multi-core CPU that leverage the PyCharm multi-threading for various operations and processes. And at least you should have a minimum disk space of 3.5 GB, or you can also use SSD drive with at least 5 GB of free space. So once you meet the machine needs, you can just download and install the PyCharm. And either you can just use directly download the PyCharm from the JetBrains, or alternatively you can install the PyCharm using the command lines. To do this, first we have to open the terminal. To open the terminal, you can use Ctrl-Alt-T. So upon clicking on Ctrl-Alt-T, you can see that the terminal will be opening over here, and I'll be using the command lines over here to set this. So the first command I'm going to provide is sudo apt get update, because we just need to update our OS. So let me update it. So while updating, we just need to provide the password of our system, and I'll be giving that. So once the updating is done, we just need to upgrade everything. So once that's done, what you have to do is we just need to upgrade. So I'll be changing the command line to sudo apt get upgrade, and let me click on enter. Now the upgrading is done. Now we just need to install the PyCharm. So in order to install the PyCharm, here you can see that we have the command called sudo snap install PyCharm community classic. So let me copy that and let me open the terminal and use Ctrl-Shift-V, and let's click on enter. And here we go, that it takes a little bit time to download and install the PyCharm community. Why we are using PyCharm community is that in case of PyCharm, we have got two versions. One is the professional version and other one is a community version. The professional version will be the paid one, and it will not be free. And the community version is completely for free, so you don't need to make any subscription to get it. To use the services. So you can basically use PyCharm community version. So to install that, you have to use these commands. So here you can see that we have currently installed the PyCharm community, and now we just need to install Python 3.12. So the latest version of Python 3.12 isn't available in the default Ubuntu repository. So we have to install it, and we just need to add to the alternative repository. So the DeadSnake repository on the Launchpad contains various Python packages including 3.12. So to add the DeadSnake repository, we have to use the following command. So let me copy it. And again, let's move on to the terminal, and let's use Ctrl-Shift-V in order to paste that and click on enter. And here, once it's done, what we have to do is, again, we just need to update everything. So let's wait for a while. Now we can click on enter to continue. Now we can just update it. So let me use the command over here to update. Okay, and here we go. Now we can verify the updated list of Python packages using the command. So let me copy it, and again let's move on to the terminal and let's use Control Shift V, and here you can just click on enter and we can find the list of Python packages. Now you can install the Python 3.12 by running the following command. So let me use the following command over here, and again let me move on to the terminal and we can use Control Shift V in order to paste everything. Now we just need to continue the process. So let's use Y over here. Now we just need to install all the necessary package for Python 3. So you can use the following code. Now use the command over here and let's move on to the terminal again. And let me paste it by using Control Shift V, and here you can see that we have just done with it. And afterwards what we have to do is we just need to install the web dependencies. So this installs all the necessary web dependencies, so we can install one by one. So as you just go with copying this to the clipboard, this will copy entire command line from here, but we just need to install everything individually. So I'll be using the command lines individually. So once that's done, you can move on to the terminal and use Control Shift V in order to paste it in the terminal and click on enter. So once everything is done, you can just go ahead with the second command line. So again, let me copy it and let me move on to the terminal. Now let's provide the other command line. Use Control Shift V and click on enter again. And now we just need to provide the other command, which is sudo npm install -d -plugin -clean -css. So let's copy it and again move on to the terminal and use Control Shift V and click on enter. Now what we have to do is again we just need to get the other command line. Again let me use Control C in order to copy, and let's move to the terminal and use Control Shift V, and here we go. Now the installation of web dependencies has done over here. Now we just need to install the wkhtml to the PDF. So to generate the Odoo reports, wkhtml to PDF needs to be installed, and you can do this by running the following command. So let me just copy the command from here. Again, let's move on to the terminal and let's use Control Shift V, and here we go. And here you can see that we are just installing the wkhtml to PDF. Afterwards, what we have to do is we just need to install the Postgres. So to the install Postgres, here you can see that we have the command called sudo install PostgreSQL client, and I'll be copying it and we'll be moving on to the terminal again, and let's use Control Shift V. And here we go, that you can find that we are installing the PostgreSQL and we just need to continue with the process. So I'll be going with Y and again click on enter to continue the process. Now we need to configure a database user role for Odoo database, and for that we have to create a new database user by following certain instructions. So be sure to set a password for this user, as you will need it when creating the configuration file, so keep it saved. So first I'll be using the command sudo su-postgres. Afterwards click on enter. Once this is done, what we have to do is we have to create the username, create DB, then password. And also I'll be using the other command. So let me give the command over here. So once it's done, let me click on enter. So here you can see I'm going to create a user called Odoo19 and let me click on enter. Now we have to create a password for this user. So let me create the password. So I have just done with the password over here. Now we just need to grant a super user privilege to the specified user. So for that we have to provide the other command PSQL, and again let me click on enter and let me alter the user. So here you can use the command that is alter user Odoo19 with super user. And use a semicolon and again click on enter. Currently we have altered it. Finally, we just need to exit both from the SQL as well as Postgres. So I'll be using backward/q and exit over here. Okay. Here we have just done a mistake. Yeah, backward/q and we can exit from here and let me click on enter. Currently we have just log out from both PSQL as well as from the Postgres. Now we just need to obtain the Odoo19 source code. So you can acquire Odoo19 community source code directly from Odoo's GitHub repository. Alternatively, you can clone it using Git. First, we just need to install Git by running the following commands. I'll be using sudo apt get install git and let me click on enter. So once that's done, we just need to use the other command. So here we just need to continue the process. So I'll be using y in order to continue the process. Now we can use the command to clone the Odoo code into Odoo19 directory with your home directory. So here we go. I'll be setting the command over here, that is git clone https www.github.com /odoo depth1 branch over here, and the Odoo19 will be cloning to the folder or to the directory Odoo19 over here. Okay, now let me click on enter. So we are just cloning, that means we are just downloading the Odoo19 into the folder over here into the Odoo19. So we have to wait for a while. So currently we have cloned Odoo19 source code, and we just need to open the Odoo project in PyCharm. So we can launch the PyCharm community edition and we can just navigate into Odoo19 directory. So here you can see that we can just move on. Let me minimize everything. And once that's done, what we have to do is we just need to move on to the PyCharm. And when we just move on to the PyCharm here, you can see that, it's getting opened over here. And we just need to trace the authorities. So let's enable, I confirm that I have read and accept the terms of this user agreement. So let's continue and let's choose don't send. And afterwards, we just need to open the project. So let me just close this and we just need to open a new project. So upon clicking on new project here, you can see that we can just consider Odoo19, and here we go, that we can find Odoo19, and let me open it. In order to open that, we can just use the location and let's create it over here. So once it's done, we can just use create from existing sources, or you can just choose open project. So we just stress the project. So let's choose stress project, and here we go. And here you can see that we are just creating a virtual environment, and Once everything is done, you can just close all these file. So let me close everything. So here you can see that currently we are in Odoo 19, and now we just need to open the terminal. So in order to open the terminal, either we can use Alt F12 and that would open the terminal, or you can see that we have the terminal over here and you can just simply go with it. And afterwards what we have to do is we just need to follow the commands to create a virtual environment. So first we have to use the curl command. So I'll be using the curl command over here. So here you can find the curl command, and let me just move on to the PyCharm and use Ctrl+Shift+V in order to set that, and let me click on enter. So here you can see that the curl is not found over here. So you can use sudo snap install curl to install the curl. After installation of curl only we can provide the curl command. So let's provide the password of our system and let's continue the process. Now we just need to provide we just need to create an environment for Python 3.12. So before that we have to install the environment. So to install the environment I'll be using sudo apt install Python. Yeah, here we go. Let me click on OK, because we are just creating the Python environment. Python 3.12 -venv and let me click on enter. And afterwards we just need to create a venv. Now to create the venv you can use the command Python 3.12 -m. Then you can provide venv and provide the venv name. So here we are just creating the venv for Odoo 19. So I'll be using Odoo 19 as the name of the venv itself for easy identification. So again let me click on enter. And now we just need to check the venv is activated or not. So to check, one of the method is that we can just close and reopen the terminal, and you will notice that the virtual environment is activated. If the terminal isn't displaying the venv, then we can use the command to activate it. So first let me just go with the closing and opening of the terminal. And here we can see that the venv isn't activated. Now we just need to activate the venv. So to activate the venv, you can use the command source. Now we can provide the venv name. So Odoo 19 is the venv name, and use bin /activate. Now again let me click on enter, and here you can see we have successfully activated the venv. So once the venv was activated, we just need to install the required Python package. So Odoo depends on several Python packages listed in the require file located in Odoo 19 directory. To install all these packages, we just need to execute the following command in the terminal. So you can install pip install -r requirements. It must be requirements. If you are providing wrong spelling, you won't be able to install the Odoo dependencies. Okay, so let me click on enter. If you encounter any errors, open the requirement.txt file and install each dependencies individually using the following command, that is pip install, and you can provide the requirement name. So once everything is done, what we have to do is we have to create Odoo.conf file in the Odoo19 directory. To create the configuration file, we can just move on to the Odoo19 directory and click on right button of your mouse, go to new, and here you can find file, and let me provide Odoo.conf over here. So once it's done, we can click on enter, and we just need to provide a block of code over here. So I'll be setting the code over here. You can find the admin password, the DB host, the port number, as well as the DB user. The DB user must be the username that you have given previously, and you also just need to provide the DB password. Now here we just need to change the add-ons path. Okay, so here let's provide the add-ons path. So let's choose Control-Shift-C in order to copy the path, and let me provide it over here. And once everything is done, what we have to do is we just need to move on to the settings, and from the settings here we can see the settings, and let's move on, and let me choose the interpreter over here. Okay, we can find the interpreter. That is, we can find the project Odoo19. Yeah, here we go. We can find Python, and under Python we have the interpreter. So let me choose the interpreter, and let me add the interpreter over here. So let's add the interpreter locally. So here you can see that we can either just go with generating new one, or we can select the existing one. So if you want to change it into Python 3.12, we can just do so. And let me just do it over here. So let me select that and click on OK. Now we can just move on to current file, and let's click on edit configuration. And upon clicking on the plus icon, here you can see that we can find Odoo19. So let me move on to Odoo19 under Python. Yeah, here we can provide the name as Odoo19, and we also just need to provide the script. So the script must be Odoo bin. So here you can choose the folder. So under the Odoo19 you can find Odoo bin. So let me choose the folder, and let's click on OK. So once it's done, we also just need to provide the parameter, which means we just need to run Odoo.conf. So we can provide it over here, or you can select it from here. Okay, and once that's done, what we have to do is we just need to provide the working directory. So that's Odoo19. So let me provide the working directory over here, and let me choose that. Once everything is done, we can just click on apply, and let's click on OK, and afterwards we can run the file. Now let me run the file. So upon running the file, here you can see that we don't have any error. So you can use Cybrosys 8019, and let me copy it, and let's move on to the browser. And from the browser, let me open a new tab and provide it. And here we have to provide the master password. So let me provide the master password over here. And afterwards, we can provide the database name, which is Odoo19. And I would like to set the email and password as admin. And if you want to load demo data, you can also load the demo data. Upon enabling demo data, you will be getting demo data. So let me create the database. So let me save the password first, and here we just need to wait for a while to create the database. Now here we can open our database, by providing the username and password that we have given during the creation of the DB. So which is admin, and let's log in. So currently you can see that we have just entered into the community version of Odoo 19. That's how to set up Odoo 19 development environment using PyCharm in Ubuntu. So if you find this video informative, please do like, share and subscribe our channel. If you want Odoo customization, Odoo implementation and Odoo tutorial videos, feel free to contact Cybrosys. That's all for today. Thank you for watching the video.